I remember taking my first photography course when I was about in junior high school, and my teacher at the time suggested that I enroll in this photography course, just so I can kind of expand on a lot of the other things I was doing actually as a cartoon illustrator. And from then on, she and I developed a really close relationship with a lot of the time that she spent trying to foster a lot of the things that I needed to do my photography work. So she kind of inspired me to really consider it not as just a creative outlet, but a professional one. So I can probably say as young as 15 up until now, I've been shooting stuff ever since. I draw a lot of my influences from movies, comic books, and music. Predominantly, a huge theme in a lot of my works can be drawn from a lot of the bands that I listen to. Lately, I've been finding myself listening to a lot of Portishead, Starflyer 59. Those are other musicians that I listen to. Sparkle Horse. Movies, I'm completely in love with Wong Kar-wai. I try not to emulate his lighting too much, but he has a very kind of organic quality to his lighting that it seems like very natural. Storyline-wise, I would probably say anything from Tarantino to John Waters, actually. And for illustrations, I'm in love with Frank Miller, Craig Thompson, Robert Crumb, Alan Moore, all those good guys.
Well, the Self-Portrait project, it was never really a project to me. It was kind of just like an ongoing series that I did to satiate my creative needs. I was actually told at one point to stop taking self-portraits because they told me that it wouldn't get me anywhere commercially. It was just not commercially viable. What I guess I was trying to do was, in a selfish act for myself, was just kind of document moments in my life that were monumental, whether they were...
How many pictures of yourself did you take so far?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I have no idea. I actually went through my archive to curate the show. A really good friend of mine, Alessio, that I met about a year ago, it seems like, probably even shorter than that. He looked at me and said, I want you to go through all of your images and find every self-portrait you did so we can get a gallery curated. And it took me, days to find it. Final images, I would say around 30. Actual images, I would say within 1,000. Yeah, easily. Each image is pretty secular. They tend to be, they're for what the images are. I mean, there's no. Some of the images in its aesthetics are pretty similar, but yeah, each one is pretty much a standalone portrait. None of them really blend in unless if they were created to be like a diptych or a triptych at the time. There was no really like a running theme within the series except for me being the photograph subject.
In regards to a lot of the works that I do, I've been told that kind of has a surrealist quality to it, and that's because I spend a lot of time with the concepts I have, especially my self-portraits, to kind of transport people into what I'm feeling at the time, which is definitely visually, emotionally, not of anything common that you would find in existence in the normal world. When I get an idea, a lot of times, even though they are kind of organic in their nature when they come to me, when I get that one idea, the conviction behind it tends to be followed with a lot of solid planning. What I see in my mind and what I want to output, I want to be able to take it from myself and translate it to the 100% full representation of what I actually have planned out. I find if you try to rush the method of finding yourself to be inspired, you're just going to stumble over a lot of, half-completed ideas. I use a lot of times my body to transform myself in my portraits, so whether that be through the use of medical tools, the blood, the gore, the disfiguration of myself, just because seems to be more of an illustrative quality to those kind of portraits, because if it were just a photo of me, it'd be nothing but just this biological mugshot of a 5'6", 140-pound, half Asian girl. And while there has been questions about what audience are you really appealing to, I would hope somebody with a like mind. I'm not trying to appeal to anybody who wouldn't like my work, honestly. You know, there would be no point. That would just be kind of a waste of my own time, my own art. Well, if it's disturbing, I don't know whether to say if I've done my job, but I'm not out there to shock anybody. I'm just kind of like photographing the subject matter I like, which tends to not be of the I wouldn't say the friendliest of nature, but it wouldn't be the, you know, it's not some of the most kindest subject matter. I probably will never change that vision. That seems to be the voice that I've developed for my work since I've started. God knows how long back, even before I was photographing. But I hope to evolve that sort of tone as years go by, where I can kind of remain within that same theme, but it'll be different as I kind of progress along with my work for the rest of my life. That specific piece is actually from, the quote is actually from Diane Arbus. The complete quote is, a photograph is a secret about a secret. The more it tells you, the less you know. And I find that's applicable almost to any genre of photography, art, because the people who, or the person that makes any sort of piece, whether it be photography or music, when they want that to be received by an audience, it can be taken into a completely different magnitude of translations. And the more explicit you are about these things, the more layers you're adding on to that specific piece of work. I completely understand if people were to be in love with my work, offended, or indifferent, because I leave it completely up to them to interpret what exactly they see.